I'm back. Okay, so here we go. So we're dedicating this live stream to Dennis Lisby and Patricia Anthone of the Arapahoe Tea Party page in Colorado. So just to recap, Patricia and Dennis took to social media on this Arapahoe Tea Party page and touted themselves as heroes, because they went out and they cleaned up Cherry Creek State Park. And they were mounting their posse to join them to go out there and take care of the homeless, quote unquote, vagrants, drug addicts, people who nobody has a job. They're all filth. They're all creating a disease-ridden state park, and all the children are going to die and become infected from needles, all that kind of stuff, right? So they did taxpayers a service and went out and let those homeless know that they're not welcome. So I got wind of this just through this freak post that scrolled across my Facebook page one day, and it must have happened for a reason, because I needed to make a visit out to Cherry Creek Park to see if I could locate any of these people that they supposedly ran off just a couple days before a heavy freezing winter storm. So I took a few of my libertarian friends, bless their hearts. They went out there and walked that park with me. We spent about 2.5 hours out there trying to find people, and we couldn't find anyone. But we came up on this one tent. And like I said, if you understand the homeless and how they survive and how they try to live, you can tell a lot without even having to see them, just how they're set up with their basic gear to survive. So we found this tent that was on the other side of the fence at Cherry Creek State Park. So this tent was not inside the park. So it gets hairy on all the rules, even though, that's our land, quote unquote public land that Patricia and Dennis have claimed is theirs. Well, it's just as much mine. So I'm gonna go out to that public land, and I'm going to advocate for the people that are trying to survive. I am first going to try to understand what's going on with them before I think I've got the gumption and the poor upbringing to start threatening these people. This is what Dennis and Patricia did. Somebody went out to that park a day prior to Dennis and Patricia showing up in that park and had a conversation with some homeless people in that park. And one of those individuals happens to be knowledgeable about who that was. Now, the homeless, they don't want interaction with the police. They really don't want interaction with anybody. When they're trying to survive, most of them are in survival mode. Are there issues about rotten-ass homeless people? Yeah. There are. Are some of them dangerous? Absolutely. Are some of them criminals likely to reoffend? Absolutely. But guess what? So are people that are housed. So cut the shit that you fear for your life because you see a homeless person. Because little do you know that 2 doors down, that guy probably just raped his niece or nephew, and you're cool with that because they live in a house, and you just are sure that the homeless are out committing all these crimes as drug addicts and horrific people. I have heard some of the worst testimony. I went to the Inglewood City Council meeting. This is a little bit off topic, but I went to the Inglewood City Council meeting the other night, and there is a guy that shows up wearing all this Trump attire to tell the city council that they need to get rid of the homeless in Inglewood as well. Well, Inglewood is also in Arapahoe County. So there is an interesting shift occurring in the suburbs of Denver. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the metro area, these are cities just right outside of Denver. And you know how Denver is shuffling the homeless. So these people are looking for refuge where they're not going to have police contact, where they can try to do what it is they're doing. If they're not hurting anyone else, I don't take interest in telling someone how they're going to live because I think that's how they should do it. Do I help every single homeless person I see? No, I can't. Do I step in and advocate where things are wrong as a whole? Yeah, I do. Will I help one individual homeless person in need? Yeah, I will. And it turns out that this one person that was in that tent, and he wasn't there that day that me and my friends went out to make contact, guess where he was? He was at work. Yeah, Dennis and Patricia, he was at work. Yeah, work. The guy has a job. And somebody stole all his shit while he was at work. I wonder who that was. So I'm a little fired up over this issue. My number one concern is that man and what his situation is and what he's trying to do and accomplish for himself. Okay? I've spent a lot of time with him. And Dennis, he got on the Arapahoe Tea Party page and he made a post with a picture of that man's camp, his tent, and said that he'd noticed that that tent was still there and what's going to get done about it. Well, here's what got done, Dennis and Patricia. Since you find it okay to get on the internet, Facebook, and trash these people and talk insurmountable amounts of shit about how worthless they are, I think it's about time we start talking about how worthless you are as human beings. And who could be such a giant piece of shit and go out there and do what you did to those people? And you admitted it on the Arapahoe Tea Party Facebook page. I have screenshots. You admitted it. You are disgusting. You are thieves. And you thought by harassing the homeless, they were just going to go away and not be people anymore? And nobody was going to hold you accountable to your actions? Yeah, well, that ended up being me. And a couple others that have joined me in supporting these people to help them get where they need to be. I finally made contact with that man with the help of another friend. I haven't talked to her, so I don't know if she wants me to name her. She probably doesn't have a problem with it. But she happens to live pretty close out there, and I don't. She went out there in the dark and walked through that park in the dark to make contact with this man because we were both worried about him. She made contact with him, and he was the only one out there. So his safety is severely compromised. But you know why he stayed there? Because he's got nowhere to go. He rides his bike to the light rail every day, and he goes to his job in Denver. It's about an hour and a half commute for him, if that's a good day. Some days it takes him 2 and 3 hours. Remember, everybody, how inconvenient RTD is with all that taxpayer money? This man has nowhere to go because he cannot afford housing. He has a full-time job. And somebody took it upon themselves to go throw all his shit away, including pictures of his kids and all his work items, his work clothes. He had to go to his boss and explain to his boss, yeah, those shirts you just gave me, they're gone. Can I have some more? You two suck badly. And I'm still working on what the proper recourse is going to be with law enforcement. And guess what? The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Department, I don't have anything bad to say about them at this point. Because one of the first things I did was get in contact with law enforcement to make sure that they weren't going to be partaking in the harassment of the homeless. And let me back up. When Dennis decided to go out to Cherry Creek State Park, he stopped at the ranger station and told them that he was going out there to throw all that stuff away. Because somebody had shown up the day before and went and told all these homeless people that they needed to pack up because it was moving day. And they had 24 hours. And if they didn't leave, this person would be back with the cops. Who could that have been? Well, Dennis was warned by the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Department not to take their things, and was told that he'd be arrested if he did. Well, Dennis posted on Facebook that he didn't give a shit, that he was going to go ahead and do what he wanted to do and not listen to law enforcement because he didn't have to. Well, that's good. None of us have to. Now, I wonder why it is that Dennis didn't face any repercussions. Could it be that you assholes went out there and put the fear of God in those people and they split? They don't want any problems? Because this man, the one that was left, that was brave enough to stay there, he doesn't want any contact with law enforcement either. Law enforcement knows who he is, and so do others. But if you don't have a victim, you don't have an investigation. Good job, Dennis and Patricia. Are you too proud of yourselves? I sure hope so. You're a really decent human beings. Really special people. I'm so glad I knew you, Dennis. Yeah, that's right, I knew Dennis, and I unfriended him because I saw these things coming from him. He's an asshole. There are lots of assholes out there, but these are a special kind of asshole to go out and do this to the homeless. But guess what? My friend and I, we asked our homeless friend, our houseless friend. He had a home. Remember, it got stolen? All of his work clothes, his tent, everything. His stove, his heater, his clothes, his pictures of his kids. Thankfully, he's one of the ones that knows how he has to protect his ID, his social security card, and have all that stuff with him all the time. Remember, this man has a job. Yeah. They stole all his stuff, and he went out and replaced it when he got home from work and saw that it was all gone. He went to Walmart, and that's why that day when I went out there, I saw a brand new tent. I knew something was up. So my friend and I, we decided that this was not a good situation for this homeless man to be in. So we kept in contact with him. And my friend asked him to get out of there because she was worried about his safety. So we made a plan. We asked him to pack up and we would be there in the morning to get him and take him where he needed to go. All right, you're out of here. We're not doing this shit. Give me just a second here. Since I don't have a mod, let me take a moment. All right, back. Am I good? Okay, good. Okay, so, hey, Ed, you know what? Can I make you a mod right now? Can you help me? Thanks. So anyway, back to picking up our homeless friend. So he packed up his belongings, and we went and picked him up. And he has a storage unit as well. So he put all his things in a storage unit. And he didn't know where he was going to stay that night. So, it's been an uphill battle to get this man where he needs to be so he can get housing. And I've been working on this with him. and with a couple other friends. And today we got good news, and there is a section of government that is going to step up to the plate. And it has to do with the contacts I made. So, hey, dear Dennis and Patricia, you wanted government to take care of this problem that you had. It's taken care of. So I just wanted to let you know that. And you too suck. You are horrible human beings. Thanks, Ed. I love the haters coming in here. This is good stuff. It's exactly what I need to know. Who to watch. Because when you're out there actually accomplishing things and doing right by people, it doesn't go well for those who feel unimportant. You too can make yourself important. And you could actually go pick some people up that are down. And you can do the right thing. And if you're an indecent human being, I don't want anything to do with you. Go away. Go do your own thing. It's that simple. And if you are that afraid of the homeless and you don't want to offer any help, go away. Those are your options. You don't get to go out and harass them and steal. I looked at it that way too, Mike. Maybe he would have never gotten the help that he needed. I don't know. But that doesn't excuse their actions, right? And apparently, you know, it's the activists that the cops are more concerned about than it is the actual people committing crimes. Go figure that. I mean, how does that happen? So, in summary, this man is in a position where he needs to be, but we still have some more work to do. So he is a little bit vulnerable out there, and he's not a guy that wants a lot of, well, any handouts, as a matter of fact. He just wanted to be left alone so he could go to work. Yeah. So, hey, Dennis and Patricia, here's to you. You two really rock. You did a great job. Now, I'm just going to go continue to try to find the rest of the people that have the information about who you two actually are and what you actually did. And when and if they decide that they're comfortable enough to trust me to support them to make a criminal report on your two stupid asses, it's going to get done. And I'm going to tell the whole world about it. I am. Just like you told the whole world about how worthless these people were. Yeah, there's more in store for you. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're not done with the homeless issue out in Arapahoe County. We're just getting started. I gotta go because I'm gonna go do some things. And for those of you that want to keep focusing on the things that don't matter by being captivated by entertainers instead of doers, go do it. For those of you that actually want to help and do something productive, here's me. There's a difference between the YouTube stars. Well, I'm not a YouTube star. But don't think for a second that I'm too afraid to show up, because I'm not.